Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Here today to discuss about WWE NXT April 20th, 2021 episode and going over the review. Before I do that, I'd like to apologize to everyone about my schedule from last week. I did not live up to my expectations and what I told you guys I would be doing. I was unable to do the SmackDown review. Some things happened with my PlayStation and had a grand old time dealing with that. Had a hacker situation, so that's pretty much what I was dealing with the whole entire weekend. So my mind was not really set on doing SmackDown's review and also doing Impact Wrestling. I missed another episode. I think I've missed about 2 or 3 episodes in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So I do apologize about that, but I have 2 words for you guys at this point. Fuck WWE. Please, fuck WWE. This episode was meaningless. Really. They had a few things that were important here and there, and then there were some things that were just completely crappy. I particularly think that WWE in general, anything around WWE of any kind, NXT, anything, is doomed to fail. This show is just like all the rest now. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because they don't have fans. Triple H doesn't feel like putting all the effort in without having an audience. I'm not sure. But what I am sure is this episode was an absolute travesty. I know last week I said, NXT is starting to look a little like their old selves. Give it some time. They're going to turn things around. And this week, they went one step backwards. I just don't get it. They went right back to where they were. They took one step forward and went back. What the hell? You got Kyle O'Reilly and Cameron Grimes. Good old Cameron Grimes. Some fucking retard country hick who all of a sudden came about with money is main eventing NXT tonight against Kyle O'Reilly, who had a fucking war with Adam Cole. And we had a segment last week seeing and hearing Adam Cole saying, "This shit ain't over between you and I, you piece of shit." He was saying profanity out the wazoo. And Kyle O'Reilly, do we see Adam Cole at all tonight? During this matchup? Nope. We see Kyle O'Reilly looking down at Karrion Kross before he goes out to the ring. I don't get this. I really don't. Kyle O'Reilly wins the match with a brainbuster. Very nice move. And he won the match. The match wasn't bad. I'm not going to say the match was trash, but this was not needed. And if it was going to happen, why isn't Adam Cole coming out of nowhere, kicking the shit out of him? It looks like we're bypassing the storyline with Adam Cole and shooting straight with Kyle O'Reilly versus Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship. The only thing I can see here is that Adam Cole's going to show up when Karrion Kross is defending his title against Kyle O'Reilly. I don't like that. That is terrible. On Karrion Kross's first title defense, he's going to face Kyle O'Reilly and end up technically losing the match because Adam Cole got involved. That is some fucking bullshit. That's not a good way to have Karrion Kross's reign start out. I don't like it. I really don't. I hope we don't see Kyle O'Reilly face Karrion Kross for that world title, because if that's the case, I can guarantee you guys, Adam Cole will be waiting to interfere in that match and cost him the title. and more than likely cause a disqualification. I was kind of hoping during this match, we would have seen Adam Cole do that and then get Kyle O'Reilly's focus off of the NXT World title momentarily to end this feud between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. But we didn't get neither. We didn't get shit. We just got Kyle O'Reilly focusing on the NXT World Championship. One step at a time, folks. One step at a time. You got Adam Cole screaming in the background last week, I'm going to kick your fucking ass and blah, blah, blah. If you're going to do that, then you're not going to have Kyle O'Reilly come out the next week saying that his mind is set on the NXT World title. It makes no fucking sense to me. At least to me. I don't know about the rest of you. But to me, that's a bunch of horse shit. There shouldn't have been no end to that feud. Kyle O'Reilly shouldn't have said, oh, I feel good, I feel great, I feel amazing. I beat Adam Cole, I'm putting it behind me, and I'm moving on to the next big thing to do in my career. Really? Adam Cole just threatened your ass that he's going to beat your ass, you piece of shit. Called you a piece of shit, and you're not going to react to that? Called you a bunch of full of profanity. Called you every dirty name under the sun, and you're not going to do nothing about that. You're just going to scrub that off your shoulder, and just move on to the next thing, huh? That ain't how this is going to work, pal. But it's going to be set up for failure. I can already fucking tell that. I can tell this is going to be set up for fucking failure. I guarantee it. And it ain't going to help Karrion Kross in any way, shape, or form. I guarantee you. A bunch of horse shit, man. Really a bunch of horse shit. I'm not even getting to the promo. The promo Kyle O'Reilly cut was terrible. It wasn't serious. It was very much WWE main roster-like cut promo. I thought it was terrible. Cameron Grimes is coming out and saying, hey, we should team up because I'm Cameron Grimes and we're going to go to the moon. Yeah, woo-wee. Sure. Why don't you go join Braun Strowman and act like a fucking retard with him? You two are dumbasses. God almighty, man. I am not going to be cutting anything. I am not going to be nice during this review. This was a fucking it wasn't unbearable. I'm not going to say it was like Raw-like episode, but my God, this was just fucking terrible. This was not NXT that I've grown to love in the last 4 or 5 years, or whatever amount of years that they've been on. They've been on since 2014, but I didn't really start watching them until they started doing takeover shows around 2015 or so. And I mean like really good ones that would go like 2-3 hours. But bottom line, this was fucking terrible. This whole promo was shit. I really didn't like it. He's all cocky, acting like he's all big and bad, like he accomplished something. This shit ain't over with you and Adam Cole. I don't know what the fuck he was saying, but that made absolutely no fucking sense. We do get Zoe Stark getting the opportunity from William Regal to grant her a match with Saray. I forgot how to pronounce the new Japanese signee to the women's division in NXT. I think her name's Saray is how you pronounce it. If not, I apologize. But Saray is getting a match with Zoe Stark, and I will get into that as soon as we get to it. But the first thing on this show was Dexter Lumis, and I'm not even calling this dude LA Knight. I'm going by his original name, and that's Eli Drake. Yeah! Okay? As what this show is full of, it's full of what?
Dummy, yeah.
That's right. So, bottom line, guys, I this was I'm just dumbfounded by the match. The match was okay. It wasn't terrible. It was an average match. I'm not going to give Eli Drake, LA Knight, whatever way you want to call him. I'm calling him Eli Drake because that is the proper name for this man. Why they called him LA Knight is beyond me. I still like the fact he still has the same persona, same gimmick, and everything else, and the cocky attitude and the quick on the gun, on the microphone type of attitude and the way he performs on promos. But I'm not going to say this match was great at all. This match was actually fucking average to below average because of the whole situation with Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis. First off, Hartwell is trying to walk alongside the plexiglass, bulletproof glass that they got over there that's used for the Elimination Chamber pods. And they're walking with their hands touching up against the fucking glass. And she's walking past the glass so that they can touch. And she falls on her, down on her knees. Like, what are you, fucking retarded? Can you walk? Like, do you know what the hell you're doing? So that spot was botched, number one. Number two, you got Dexter Lumis getting distracted, which is the number one no-no. Why the fuck is he getting distracted? You cannot have this man doing this kind of shit. This is so stupid, man. They're killing Dexter Lumis with this heart-filling character with a woman. I mean, come on. In my personal opinion, it kind of killed Kane in a sense with Tori back in the day in the 90s. But at least he went right back to being the evil villain. While at the same time, even though he was with the girl, he was still a fucking badass. Dexter Lumis is not playing that kind of attitude. He's playing the silent guy, but he ain't playing a well-focused fighting machine in the ring. He's playing this guy whenever he sees this girl, he's entranced like he's a fucking zombie that has no mind of his own. She has like complete control of him when they look into each other's eyes. That's it. It's done. And with all that distraction, Eli Drake got the win. And I got one thing to say about Dexter Lumis.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, bottom line, man, this was a fucking a travesty. This was very terrible. And what they're doing to Dexter Lumis is absolute crap. I absolute hate it. I really do. I think what they're doing to him is going to... I don't know if it's destroying his character. I think I might be a little too harsh here. But I will admit it is not doing him any good in his road to a championship against Johnny Gargano. Because I don't think Bronson Reed is going to be the guy to take the title off him just yet. I really don't. But it is what it is for right now. We'll see how things go afterwards. So we have Hartwell slowly enters the ring now, and she and Lumis are still staring at each other, apparently about to kiss each other. Oh, God. The fans are chanting kiss. You got Beth Phoenix saying this is a great thing, and I'm like, what the No, there's nothing great about this. This is fucking retarded. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get a piece of hair out of off my glasses. It's kind of in the way of me looking at the screen here on the computer. But bottom line, man, this is fucking stupid. Really, this is trash. It's 100% trash. There's no reason for Dexter Lumis to becoming humanized. He needs to stay a barbaric, silent monster. And not even the kind of monster that you see with Bray Wyatt or Aleister Black type of thing. He's not doing anything gothic. He's just a very strange and odd person that doesn't speak a word. And I think that's what makes him great. I mean, he still ain't breaking that that character yet. God help us if they do. I will. If he says one fucking word on a microphone, I'm going to be pissed. Because I have heard Dexter Lumis on a microphone before in TNA, and I didn't particularly care for him on the microphone. So, I hope that does not happen. So, Theory actually carries Hartwell away as she's trying to lean over to kiss him, and things go awry for that. And that's all there is to that. Leon Ruff cuts a promo backstage on Isaiah Swerve Scott. He's done playing games with Scott, who has pushed him too far. He says the ball is in Swerve's court now, and it's on him to make the next move. I think Leon Ruff's promo was pretty good. I think there was a little bit more seriousness to his character there, which I actually liked. It was definitely something that you can take him seriously for. But unfortunately, with his height and everything, I just don't see it. I think he's better off in a cruiserweight division. Isaiah Swerve Scott is such a taller and bigger guy than he is. And I just see him as a guy that's just going to be the underdog losing every single time. I don't see Isaiah Swerve Scott being a guy that could defeat, Leon Ruff being a guy that could defeat Isaiah Swerve Scott. I really don't. I don't see that that's the case because the guy is such a toothpick. He's very skinny. He needs to put on a little bit of weight and muscle. That way he looks a little bit more believable to beat Scott in a one-on-one match. But personally, I don't see that would be believable without hurting Isaiah Swerve Scott's character, bottom line. That's just how I feel about that. So Io Shirai is going to get an interview backstage with Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix sits down with her. They discuss about her first match, the match that she won the NXT Women's Championship at TakeOver in Your House, which, yes, we all know Charlotte Flair did not eat the pinfall. It was Rhea Ripley, and that was that. And I keep hearing on JD's podcast and other reviews that Charlotte Flair is saying she is the opportunity in WWE. That is the worst fucking dialogue you can give her to say. And if she's saying it on her own, she's a fucking lying sack of shit. She ain't opportunity. She is where you get buried. She is where your character like Rhea Ripley goes from being at the heights it could be, where it was, and completely dropped to Never Neverland, doing shitty fucking segments with Robert Stone and Aaliyah on NXT, which, by the way, we did not see Robert Stone at all, thank God. I could not stand that fucking shit. But this promo got cut short with a very terrible situation that I did not like, which I'll get into in just a moment. So we then see footage of the match that she had with Raquel Gonzalez, though, at TakeOver Stand and Deliver. She suffered a spine buster on the outside of the ring, and then sustained another one inside the ring, which then ended the match for Io Shirai against Gonzalez, having her win the championship. And she went on to say, she said she defended the title for almost 400 days, and her body needs some time to rest. Beth Phoenix said, "What's your next move?" And she says, "It's time to rest for me. I've done a lot as the champion. I need to, recuperate from the matches I've had over the last almost year of being champion. And I need to, recollect myself and then come back and earn my way back to the world title in the women's division." I thought that was an excellent part of this promo. Where this went, though, went right down the fucking toilet. We had Frankie Monet, formerly known as Frankie Monet from TNA. Taya Valkyrie. She had some moment here. I almost forgot the fucking name. Taya Valkyrie had a moment here in the end of this promo talking about how asking her how her dog got in here, and Monet, Io Shirai asked her that, and Monet wants to introduce herself to Shirai and congratulate her on her title reign. Frankie has been a fan of Beth since she was a kid. Frankie didn't mean to listen in, but she's open to filling in for Shirai if Shirai's taking time off. Shirai stands up and she's not happy as she speaks in Japanese and stares Frankie down. Frankie says she doesn't understand what you're saying. Shirai says something about a cat and then walks off. I hate the fucking in and out English, Japanese shit with the Japanese wrestlers. I understand and respect their culture and their language, but you're in America. If you were New Japan Wrestling and you had a mixture of Japanese and American wrestlers and you wanted to cut a promo with your own language, I can understand that, but please cut a promo with English, because we speak English in America mostly. So we kind of need a little bit of help. Could you reiterate and translate what you said after you said it in Japanese? It would help us out a lot so we can get and understand what the fuck you're talking about. So Frankie laughs and says someone is having a bad day. Folks, I gotta say, the reason why I dislike the idea of Frankie Monet showing up was because she showed up during a promo for Raquel Gonzalez. She's showing up everywhere in the big important names in the women's division, acting as if she is part of the top of the tier in the NXT women's division. She is not. She most definitely is not. Not yet, anyway. Taya Valkyrie is one thing in Impact Wrestling. She was one of the best. She performed in hardcore matches. She did all kinds of shit that normally women don't do in WWE. But your name is changed, number one. Number two, you're in Impact Wrestling. This is NXT, a show that is premiered on USA Network, a well-known station. Fucking Impact Wrestling can be viewed on Twitch TV. You don't even have to have Access TV to watch it. There's the difference. That's number one. Number two, this is NXT, a better product than Impact Wrestling. I will admit that. And three, it has better women wrestlers in the world than any promotion, including AEW. And yes, folks, I love AEW, but I know when I see good wrestling, and NXT's women's wrestling is the best that you'll find in wrestling, period. WWE's main roster, totally different story. If she was appearing in WWE's main roster, she got some matches and she started having a winning streak, then yes, I would be okay with you kind of pumping her up for a women's championship. Not to win. I don't think she should win right away. I think that would be a little crazy. But if you put her on SmackDown, had her win for a couple of months, be undefeated, and then face Bianca Belair, that would be a great idea. That I would be okay with. And Bianca Belair defeating Frankie Monet one-on-one for the women's championship at a major pay-per-view like SummerSlam. That I'd be totally fine with. Because then Frankie Monet is giving a huge win to Bianca Belair's title reign, which would give more value to that title. Just my opinion, just my thoughts. Hopefully you guys agree on that. If not, to each his own. I totally understand. Everybody's got their own opinion. But bottom line, Frankie Monet coming in the NXT women's division and doing this kind of shit, no, I totally disagree with this. I don't like this. I think this is trash. She doesn't need to be in every fucking segment that a major name women's performer is cutting a promo and doing their thing. That is crap. She is not the top of the food chain yet. She needs to have matches. You want to impress me? Have Frankie Monet face Zoe Stark one-on-one. Or have her face Candice LeRae. Have her face anyone on the women's roster. Show me what she can do, and if she can impress people and people are satisfied, then by all means, then start slowly but surely getting her pumped into those major promos with the major names on the NXT women's roster. That's just my attitude and take on that, and that's how I feel about it. Breezango versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. This was a good match. I don't like the Breezango tag team. I think they are absolute WWE main roster trash. They should go back to the main roster. The tag team division could definitely use them, especially on Raw. But they did a good match with the Grizzled Young Veterans. I absolutely love this matchup. This was a good tag team match. I think the next challengers for the tag team titles should be the Grizzled Young Veterans. And I also would go for a run for the Grizzled Young Veterans becoming the tag team champions. I would definitely do that too. I think MSK is a good team, but them losing to Grizzled Young Veterans real quick at their next TakeOver pay-per-view, I'd be totally fine with that. And you could start a rivalry between those two and really put on a good show between those two teams. Mackenzie Mitchell is backstage with Indy Hartwell, who has suggested time, apparently, to speak about Dexter Lumis. She goes to speak, but the way interrupts and says this is not an interview. No one requested time. Bronson Reed interrupts and asks, don't they love love? He believes Lumis would be a great addition to the Gargano family. No, fuck no. No. Bronson Reed, buddy, I understand you're going for an NXT North American Championship and you're going after the Johnny Gargano's title. But, buddy, please, don't make Dexter Lumis any worse than he already is. We don't need to see him with anybody. He needs to be alone to himself and kicking some ass and eventually taking the NXT North American Championship from Johnny Gargano. Not you taking the title, even though I would say Bronson Reed's a good performer. But because Dexter Lumis is such an entertaining performer and he's good in the ring, I would rather see him win the title from Gargano than Bronson Reed. But don't get me wrong, I think Reed did a great job with Johnny Gargano and they had a great match at their last TakeOver event. So Austin Theory steps in on Reed and talks some trash. He says he spoke to General Manager William Regal and Reed won't get another title shot unless he defeats Theory. Oh my God, has Theory become the new Jey Uso, the main event of NXT? Austin Theory, who is going to take L's for Johnny Gargano so people can get title shots against Johnny Gargano's North American champion. What a fucking joke. Come on, man. You really got to have a match with Austin Theory facing Bronson Reed to give Bronson Reed a title opportunity? Again, I mean, what the fuck? He lost clean. He lost fucking clean. He didn't lose by a screw job. He lost clean. And they're giving the man a fucking opportunity for the title by him beating Austin Theory. And Austin Theory already lost this guy in an 8-man tag team matchup last week. I don't get it, guys. I really don't get this fucking company. I am so tired of this, but thank God this show is only... there's only one show per night, so I can deal with watching NXT, and I'll just shit on them when they're shitty, and I'll praise them when they're good. But right now, this episode was trash, so it's gonna be trashed the way it should be. So yeah, we're getting a match between these two next week, and if Reed beats Bronson Reed, or Reed beats fucking Austin Theory in a match, he's gonna get a North American Championship opportunity in the future. So Reed is up for it, and he walks off, and Gargano isn't thrilled with what Theory has done either. And then out of nowhere, oh yeah, that was they have another the Way have multiple segments on this show too backstage. This oh god, this show is fucking retarded. All right, Sarray versus Zoe Stark. I'm gonna say this match was good, but at the same time, I'm gonna also say this was a bad decision. This really was a bad decision. We should have seen Sarray win this match clean without having a long, drawn-out match. This match should have been short, sweet, to the point. Sarray, one-sided victory, and that's it. We really shouldn't have seen Zoe Stark in this situation one-on-one with Sarray until maybe 2 weeks from now. I really think they should have waited on this, give her a jobber to work on, let her display her dominance, make herself look very intimidating to the audience, show that they can buy into this character. With this matchup, even as good as it was, and I'm not shitting on this match whatsoever because it was a good match, quite possibly an NXT TakeOver opener match, like a little grudge match type of thing, just to get these two women on a card and show off their skill set together. I think they worked decently. I didn't have any problem with it. It definitely felt like a TakeOver type of mini match that you could start off TakeOver with in a mini grudge match type of thing that was built up over 2 or 3 weeks, and that's it type of thing. Nothing major. But this match wasn't bad, but at the same time, I mean, you're giving the audience giving them that intimidation factor of Sarray and showing off how dangerous she is. Because all they kept advertising about Sarray is she's this dangerous Japanese wrestler from Japan. Okay, show it off. You can't have Zoe Stark being the one to eat the entire beating throughout the match, and then make her lose on top of it. She's already been competing against big names. I wouldn't have done that. And quite frankly, Zoe Stark had the upper hand in this match. I really felt that way. I think Zoe Stark had a slight advantage over Sarray in this matchup, and eventually Sarray turned it around and won the match. She didn't really display she was a dangerous opponent for anyone. So, quite frankly, they kind of were hypocritical about the character right out the gate. I thought that was shit. I really do. I don't think that should have happened. This match should have happened later on down the road on an NXT episode, or build this into some kind of serious match that could have been turned into an opener for NXT TakeOver in the future. But to have this first match for Sarray right out of the gate, stupid move. Very stupid. Sarray, though, wins the matchup, like I said, and gets the 1-2-3 victory. Like I said again, it was a good match. I'm not discrediting it, but you get my drift. I'm not going to reiterate the same thing over again. All right, so Sarray helps Stark up to her feet, and they hug as fans pop. I thought that was a very nice little touch to the end of it. It showed a little, showed some class and everything. Stark exits the ring, but Toni Storm attacks her on the way out. And fans boo. I also think it was piped in boos as well. Storm destroys Stark and leaves her laying at the ring. Payback for the recent TakeOver Stand Deliver kickoff pre-show loss. Sarray comes out and checks on Stark as Storm looks down at them. I hope and pray they don't make Toni Storm face Sarray, because if Sarray faces her, Sarray is going to win. I really don't want to see Toni Storm eat another L. I want to see her pushed into a women's championship opportunity and possibly even win, having a good reign as the NXT Women's Champ. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Mackenzie's backstage with Dakota Kai and NXT Women's Champion Raquel Gonzalez. Gonzalez says Io Shirai was great champion, but she plans to work hard and prove that she can be a better champion that's just as tough. Kai interrupts Mackenzie and brags about how bad they beat Shirai up together. This, I definitely can tell, folks, we are going to be leading towards a situation that Dakota Kai is going to turn on Gonzalez while Gonzalez is champion, and Dakota Kai is going to become the next women's champion after Gonzalez. I have a gut feeling that is what's going to happen here. Raquel Gonzalez may end up coming back for a championship opportunity or move on to the main roster, which, God help her, she's going to need it. So Dakota Kai says they also have some words for Mercedes Martinez. Gonzalez says every woman in the locker room can step up, but she will knock them all down until no one is left standing. Yeah, okay, you got it. We see Candice LeRae backstage with Andy Hartwell walking around, and LeRae tells her to stop being distracted by boys. LeRae has a plan, but Hartwell asks why don't they just go see William Regal. LeRae says because he's a sobiter, some shit fucking word, and I forgot how to pronounce the word. Oh, God. We see Dexter Lumis appear in the background. LeRae confronts NXT Women's Tag Team Champions Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart, but Indy Hartwell kind of just disappeared when LeRae was walking up and confronting the Tag Team Champions. She talks some trash, but Indy isn't there to back her up. Indy has apparently ditched her for Lumis. The champs attack LeRae and beat her into a room to continue that beating. That's pretty much that. NXT Cruiserweight Championship Open Challenge. Oney Lorcan versus Kushida for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. I don't like the Open Challenge. I think that is really fucking stupid. It was good back when John Cena was the United States champion, but after years of them doing this occasionally with different championship belts, it loses its I guess you could say excitement from what you get out of it. It's nothing major. You know the champion isn't going to really lose, except for that one match we saw last week, which surprised the living hell out of all of us. And if you weren't surprised, well, then you must be the fucking smartest person on the planet to be able to call that one, because I don't think anyone could really predict that Kushida was going to beat Santos Escobar after he just won a ladder match to crown himself as the undisputed Cruiserweight champion. I didn't figure that was coming at all. So if you called that, you should have put some fucking money on it, because I bet you on betting odds in Las Vegas, it would have been a low shot for anyone to actually win that. So if you won, you would have won a shitload of money, if that was even possible. So I doubt it was. I don't think you fucking Las Vegas betting really care about professional wrestling all that much. But yeah, Oney Lorcan was the guy to challenge Kushida for the title. I will say this, Kushida's dress attire absolutely sucks. He doesn't need to look like an MMA fighter. He's a professional wrestler. I liked his gimmick back when he was in Ring of Honor and New Japan Wrestling. He dressed up like Marty McFly from the Back to the Future series, franchise, whatever you want to call it. And he looked pretty fucking cool performing in that. That's what I would prefer him looking like. Not this this MMA so-called fighter. I mean, I understand he has some MMA training and abilities, but he doesn't need to be dressed like an MMA fighter with no sneakers on or boots on in the middle of a match. I think it looks absolutely ridiculous for him. All right, so after the match, he gets attacked by Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma. But MSK show up to assist Kushida, and lo and behold, what do we get? Next week, we are getting a 6-man tag team match. Oh my god. What creativity. What fucking creativity. Let me tell you. Alright, so Mercedes Martinez is backstage now. She cuts a promo on NXT Women's Champion Raquel Gonzalez and says it seems like she's scared. We hear fans in the arena booing Martinez. Apparently, Raquel Gonzalez is becoming a face from what I'm getting from all this. She says Gonzalez may be the champion, but she's still in the shadow of Dakota Kai. Mercedes offers to take Kai out so nothing will stand between them and the title. And then they go to commercial break. Johnny Gargano is talking with Austin Theory backstage about how Theory got booked in a match with Bronson Reed, and Candice LeRae stumbles up and she's all beaten up. Indy Hartwell walks up and asks what happened to Candice. She reveals that she saw William Regal and he's giving them a title shot against Amber Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. Oh my god. Whoop-de-fucky-doo. Who gives a shit? They already lost a takeover. Why are they going to get another match and win this time? 50-50 booking, I'm assuming. Candice is in a bad mood, basically. Whole entire segment, who flying fucks? Who the fuck cares? Really, what does it matter? I don't really give a shit. Everrise versus Imperium. Everrise, folks, I've heard of them a couple of times throughout the last year or so, and they look nothing more than like jobbers. Imperium kicked the shit out of them. We saw Killian Dane come down and had some words with Wolf at ringside, distracting Bartel and Eichner, allowing Parker to roll Eichner for a close 2 count, and Drake Maverick comes down to the ring to fight, but Dane holds him back from Wolf, and Dane then carries Drake to the back. Bartel tags back in, and Imperium hits the big double team uppercut from the corner to get the pin on Parker, and that is that. They do their signature pose for Imperium, and that is it. Last thing on this entire shit show was Cameron Grimes and Kyle O'Reilly competing in a 15-minute match. 15-minute match. We don't see a thing from fucking Adam Cole at the end of the match being over. I could have been okay with the fact that, Kyle O'Reilly wins the match by pinfall, and then after the match he's celebrating. We see Adam Cole show up. No sign of Adam Cole whatsoever. We got Adam Cole still in the hospital, but Kyle O'Reilly isn't. He's cleared to wrestle, but Adam Cole isn't. Didn't they suffer the same kind of beatdown in that match? I mean, I didn't see a one-sided beatdown here. I saw cleanly 2 men beating the shit out of each other. And yet, we really didn't get Adam Cole to show up on this show. I don't know, guys. I think that was completely illogical. Like I said earlier in the review, I stated that Karrion Kross and Kyle O'Reilly were staring each other down before Kyle O'Reilly went out during his entrance. And, I don't know, man. I really don't know what to really get excited over. This was nothing to be excited about. This was just a average Joe show with some good matches here and there. Illogical fucking things they're doing with Dexter Lumis. Frankie Monet popping in and out of people's promos, acting like she's a big hot stuff and she's done everything in NXT you can possibly ask for to earn a title shot. And yet she hasn't done a fucking match yet. And then you take the Japanese threat from Japan, put her in a match with someone who's been having some good wins and competing against some decent stars, and then you have her and Saray compete in a pretty close one-on-one match with a slight edge to Zoe Stark in that matchup. And that's how you're building up Saray as this Japanese killer from Japan. Yeah, okay. Whatever you say, man, this show sucked. It was somewhat okay in certain aspects, like wrestling was okay, but creatively, storyline-wise, fucking shit. The match is set up for next week. I'm not excited over. 6-man tag team match. Bronson Reed and Austin Theory. Bronson Reed's gonna win. This is like Jey Uso competing for Roman Reigns, just so someone can earn a shot for a title. It's fucking stupid. And there was another match that was set up for next week. I kind of slipped my mind here. It really doesn't matter. I don't really care. This show is just trash. Creatively, it was trash. Wrestling-wise, it was okay. But bottom line, guys, this was not impressive or entertaining whatsoever. Bottom line. So, at this time, guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. I thank you guys very much for watching. And have a great night, guys. Bye.